Hello once again, dear viewers. You're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. 3 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Vocational training to women carried out in Nakfa. Israel to designate 6 Palestinian civil society groups as terrorist organizations. Spain's Cumbre Vella volcano on La Palma Island erupts again for a second month straight. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. 3 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in Asmara, Central Region. On the other hand, 6 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Central Region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly risen to 6,714, while the number of deaths stands at 45. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 6,795. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 25 October 2021. The National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in Nakfa subzone organized vocational training to 25 girls in the subzone. The 3 months theoretical and practical training included poultry farming and beauty salon. The objective of the training was to enable the girls develop their skills and thereby improve their livelihoods through initiating income generation schemes. Speaking at the closing event of the program, Mr. Yaqub Idris, administrator of the subzone, called on the trainees to take advantage of the training they were provided with in improving their livelihoods and become exemplary to other girls in their areas. Mr. Yaqub also reassured the trainees of the subzone's readiness to stand by their side in their future endeavors. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch in Nakfa subzone extended school material support to 100 disadvantaged students in the subzone. According to the branch office, the support will enable the disadvantaged students pursue their education unhindered by financial constraints. Mr. Tesfaye Abio, head of the branch office, called on the beneficiary students to become competitive in their education, motivated by the support they were provided with. In the same vein, the Ministry of Education branch in Nakfa subzone extended school material support to 120 disadvantaged girls. Mr. Abdullahi Saleh, head of the school in the subzone, said that the support was in continuation of the similar support that has been extended to disadvantaged girls and to address the prevailing school dropout of female students at junior level. In related news, similar support has been extended to 50 disadvantaged students in Galalu subzone. Those are domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. An explosion in Uganda's capital, Kampala, that killed 1 person and injured 3 others was, quote-unquote, a terrorist act, according to police and President Yoweri Museveni, who promised to hunt down those responsible. A bomb attack packed with nails and shrapnel exploded at a popular street-side restaurant strip in Kawempe division in Kampala on Saturday, according to police. The explosion killed a 20-year-old waitress and injured 3 people, 2 of whom were in critical condition. Adding, all indications suggest an act of domestic terror. The ISIL armed group claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement posted in an affiliated Telegram channel. On October 8, the ISIL group claimed responsibility for an alleged bomb attack on a police post in Kawempe, near where Saturday's explosion occurred. Coronavirus cases in Eastern Europe have surpassed 20 million, according to a Reuters tally yesterday, as the region grapples with its worst outbreak since the pandemic started and inoculation efforts lag. New infections in the region have steadily risen and now average at least 83,700 new cases per day, the highest level since November last year, Reuters data through Friday showed. Although it has just 4% of the world's population, Eastern Europe accounts for roughly 20% of all new cases reported globally. 3 of the top 5 countries reporting the most deaths in the world are in Eastern Europe: Russia, Ukraine, and Romania. More social gathering indoors after the lifting of restrictions, just as winter sets in, is driving a rise in COVID-19 infections in many countries across Europe, the World Health Organization's Emergency Director Mike Ryan said on Thursday. Palestinians rejected a decision passed by Israel to designate 6 Palestinian civil society groups as terrorist organizations, accusing them of funneling donor aid to militants. The move drew criticism from Palestinians as well as from the United Nations and human rights watchdogs. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh rejected the Israeli decision, which he said was illegal according to international law. Israel's defense ministry said last week the groups had ties to the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PLFP, a left-wing faction with an armed wing that has carried out deadly attacks against Israelis. The groups include Palestinian human rights organizations Ad-Damr and Al-Haq, which document alleged right violations by both Israel and the Western-backed Palestinian Authority in the occupied West Bank. The United Nations Human Rights Office in the Palestinian territory said it was alarmed by the announcement. The Cumbre Vieja volcano on Spain's La Palma Islands spurted out more lava and fire today in its second month. Lava from the volcano has covered nearly 900 hectares of land, destroying 2,000 buildings and many banana plantations since the eruption started on September 19. More than 7,000 people have had to evacuate their homes. Dear viewers, a quick recap of tonight's headlines. 3 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Vocational training for women carried out in Nakfa. Israel to designate 6 Palestinian civil society groups as terrorist organizations. Spain's Cumbre Vieja volcano on La Palma Island erupts for a second month straight. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.